the butter that maketh the corn sweet? And where are the napkins just in case it gets messy? These trials, tribulations, yeah, times can get testy, shaky and scary, awful, some messy. What good is the salt if it loses its flavor, if it loses its savor? That's why Jesus came, because we needed a savior, needed a healer, needed a mender, redeemer, the keeper. Peace be still, yeah, we needed the comma, and we needed the one we called the Messiah. Praises inspire, lift them on higher. Read Revelations, and we're overcomers, the sheep of his pasture. I heard he repaying, I heard he avenging, passing out payments, checking for interest. He the real Alpha, Lion of Judah, Balm of Gilead, Rose of Sharon, one living God. There's nobody greater, nobody bigger. Blood and water, he's spirit redeemer, man's reviver, spirit redeemer, man's reviver. All right. So listen, got a little shaky at the end, but the girlies was encouraging me last night in Bible study. I appreciate y'all for that. And it was making me feel like, you know what? I gotta practice on my raps again. That's a little gospel rap I wrote back in 2017. And God calls the children of God, the saints, the born again, to be the salt of the earth, to go forth, redeeming the time, snatching them out the fire. With that being said, y'all let me know if y'all think I should keep practicing in the chat and in the comments. Put a 10. If you want me to keep practicing, put a 1, put a 5 or below if I should just give it up. Now, with that being said, please do not go in these stores looting my people. Black, brown, white, mixed, whatever you consider yourself, please do not go in these stores looting. Today I finally got paid, and so your girl was like, you know what, I don't even know if I need to go to Walmart, because these people already on here talking about they gonna be looting and acting up. But gratefully, I live out here in the suburbs with the white folks, and they don't play that like that. They wish some Negroes would act up, no matter what color they are. And I have a little neighborhood Walmart right here, which is really safer because it's not like one of them big ones, and we ain't in the hood like that, so I ain't got to worry about nobody tripping, because white folks ain't playing that out here in Plano. They just not. So it's a little neighborhood Walmart. I went there. I was straight. But I would recommend, if you guys haven't did your shopping yet, hey, everybody, what's up? Hello. If you live in the hood like that, girlies and gentlemen, and y'all know where you live at, maybe they're going to be acting up, that maybe this is the location that they might be looting and stealing and rioting and stuff, then I would recommend going a little further out to the suburbs to like a Tom Thumbs are usually classier, and yeah, white folks ain't gonna be letting you steal. You can go there and shop. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it's worth your peace of mind if you don't want to worry about the drama. And if you live in the hood and at the big Walmarts, the super centers, people possibly may be looting or stealing, or you just don't want to be, then go a little further out to the Tom Thumbs, because they know about Target. They all going to the big Walmarts. Some of them going to Kroger's. Kroger's is a little bit more classier too, but go to Tom Thumb. You should be good in the suburbs. Go to Kroger, go out in the suburbs somewhere, or go to a small neighborhood Walmart that's a little further out where they're not gonna play like that, so you don't have to worry about getting caught up in no unnecessary drama. But I did my little groceries at the neighborhood Walmart. I was straight, because again, I'm out here with the white folks. They're not gonna play that. I'm in the suburbs, so wasn't nobody doing too much. With that being said, I want to encourage y'all that if you're one of the people that's thinking about looting or stealing or following the crowd and just causing havoc, to not do so, to use common sense, to know that God expects more for you, that God condemns lawlessness in the Bible. He says to obey the laws of him, the laws of God, the word of God, as well as the laws of man. Like, no stealing, no killing, no just beating people up. You can't just go in the stores and take something because they took food stamps from you, because it's not something that you have to have. It's a blessing, but it's not meant to be lifelong. Like I said, it's not like nobody owes you anything. So you have to take accountability of being grown. And again, this isn't me looking down on anybody, but it's time to grow up. It's time for us to get jobs if we're able-bodied. For those that are not, we're praying for them. Give to your food banks. Go to your food banks. Go to your food banks. Give to the food banks.
do all that good stuff so we can help people in need, because a lot of people are going to the food banks because their food stamps isn't there. And so I would recommend doing the same, and I recommend calling on Jesus, because he's always going to make a way for his children. He said, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, then would I hear from heaven and pour them out a blessing that we didn't have room to receive. But I got to talk about it, because I was seeing a video where we had a few black people talking about they finna rob all the white people, like white people not on food stamps too, like some white people ain't struggling too, like some white people ain't in the hood too, like some white people ain't in poverty too, in the Appalachian Mountains, in the trailer park, like white people can't be struggling or poor too, like the color of their skin exempts them from experiencing hardships or being poor like anybody else. There are white people out there struggling too. It's white people riding the system too. That's not a colored thing, that's a mentality thing. But for you ignorant people that are just blaming it on the color of somebody's skin, just assuming because they're white they're rich, that's just very ignorant. And I want to let y'all know some people don't play that like that. They carry guns, and while y'all out here just trying to rob people or intimidate somebody, you might catch that hot stuff messing around and playing around. Listen, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. To my black people, sometimes y'all act too ignorant. Y'all got to get over that racism. Two wrongs don't make a right. Slavery happened decades ago. These people don't know nothing about that stuff. And they out here living their life and working hard. And they have families to provide for, and they have jobs, whether they're white, black, brown, Indian, whatever. And if they're working hard for it, why should you just come up and just assume you can rob them or steal or do anything like that? People aren't going for that. People are trying to go out, get their groceries, get their jobs, provide for their families, and I recommend you guys doing the same. Don't be stupid. Some of these white folks don't play that like that. Anybody out, you could be trying to rob some rich black folks that don't play that like that, and y'all being ignorant. It's a mentality thing, no matter the color. And I want to ask everybody else to be careful, to stay prayed up. Even in the suburbs, you have to stay prayed up, because it's not like a sniper can't come through there, or somebody, that looks like they got on a suit and they crazy in the head, or they snap. Everywhere you go, you got to stay prayed up. But I want to tell people that look like me, don't be racist out here just trying to rob white people or rob rich black folks. Go out and get a job. Do something with yourself. Go to the food banks. Allow this time to motivate you to be somebody, to step up your A game, to get you a hustle, to start working, to build your empire, to build for your family, to be a man, to be a woman, to put on for you and your kids. And I just let the government put you on. I heard people say all the time, I've been hearing them say y'all hate the government, but yet you want the government to give y'all free stuff, like pick a side. And I agree with that. I don't want to depend on the government for nobody. I've already told y'all I've been on it 3 times, each for a couple of months. I'm no better than nobody else. I needed it when I was on it. When I was on it, I would give me some snacks, I would give me some food. It's all I had. I didn't want to be on it. I lost my job unwillfully like 3 times, okay? And that's when I was on it for those times. And I remember that the last time, only thing I could ball out on was on food stamps. But when I say ball out, I wasn't all like, I got this. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna give me some pizza, I'm gonna give me some snacks, because I was depressed, because I had wrongfully got put out the army. I was staying at the shelter. The shelter didn't do good food. And so it was the only kind of little bit of joy I had. But when God provided for me and I got my money, I called and I was like, listen, I don't need the food stamps anymore. That was only like 3-4 months later. And the lady was even like, she even called me back. She was like, wait, why are you getting off? I said, ma'am, I have income. I don't need it anymore. It was like she wanted me to stay on it. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't need it anymore. I have income. I'm not going to be making all this money. It's a nice size check, and be like, oh, I'm riding the system, I need the food stamp. I don't need it. I have the income. And I'm working to be that teacher. I'm working to be somebody. So please, y'all, don't go out there looting. Don't go out there stealing. I'm just reading y'all comments. Somebody says success. I agree with this comment. Success does not have a color, but it does have a formula. Every country across the world since the womb, books, books, books. Yes, find a library. I've always been a geek. I've always loved the library. I've always loved reading. I got to get back into reading other books. Who among you doesn't understand this? Amen. But even just reading the Bible sharpens your intelligence. I don't know if y'all follow me, but I told y'all how my granddaddy dropped out of first grade. He had a first grade education. He had to drop out of first grade think in the early 30s or the 20s or early 1900s to be a sharecropper, to pick cotton. And he learned how to read because my great grandmother led him to Christ. And so he learned how to read by reading the Bible. He dropped out of first grade to pick cotton on the sharecropping field. That's what a lot of black folks had to do back in the day in the early 1900s. And when he met my great grandmother when they was young, and she ended up leading him to Christ, he got saved. And my mother said he would be in there for hours reading the Bible, getting in that word full of the Holy Spirit, and that's how he learned how to read. So yes, read. And I know people, scholars and worldly people, look down on the Bible, but even just reading the Bible sharpens your intelligence. Not even just the Bible, like that's the greatest book amongst them all. That's the power of God. It's the Spirit of God. So why wouldn't it sharpen your intelligence? You know, he is God. He is the creator. But I just wanted to get on here and encourage everybody to do the right thing, to trust God. Go to your food banks, call on Jesus, ask him to make a way. Don't do nothing stupid that will separate you from your kids, your loved ones, and your family, where you have to be in jail, where you can get arrested, where you can end up in prison, where you fighting, or where you could end up with a bullet in you because you out there trying to steal or trying to rob or trying to harm somebody, when all you got to do is get a job or apply yourself. And like, God will open doors. I don't care if you're a felon. I don't care what you've been through. If you apply yourself and God see you trying, he will come through. And you have to understand that his timing is not our timing, but he will come through for you. If you stay consistent, if you humble yourself, and if you call upon the name of the Lord, he will answer. So please, don't follow these idiots online talking about, oh, y'all, let's go wait till 11, 10 o'clock at midnight. They close at 11, and let's go bum rush them, and everybody come. If we do it then, they tired. They don't. Some of y'all are really stupid enough to be on here incriminating yourself. Your whole face is on the internet, and you're telling people you got a ski mask, put on your ski mask. You're telling people to put on gloves, like the FBI, like the police. Like, these people ain't finna be looking up y'all accounts and coming to and finding you. You have a face. You probably have a job. They're going to show up at your job. They're going to find your information because you're dumb enough to upload it on the internet and tell people on TikTok and YouTube, get you a ski mask, get you gloves. Let's go rob people. Let's go loot. Let's go steal. Let's wait till 10 o'clock. And you got a black girl on here talking about, let's wipe out the white people. You got the black man talking about, I'm going to get me a ski mask. Well, I don't want to say too much. You already did. It's not wise. It's not smart. You're already ignorant enough to tell people what you're going to do before you do it, or instruct people to be dumb enough like you. Because half these people out here just talking for views. They know it's going to go viral. Even with the potential of getting them fired, they just talking. Some of them are not really going to do this. They just want the views. But they're encouraging some Looney Tunes out here to do this and actually get in trouble and actually get separated from their kids and actually risk being, in trouble with the police by whatever means that is. If you put people in danger, they're going to do what they can to protect themselves. So you guys need to think twice before you want to go out here with your ski mask or robbing and looting just because you say, well, if we all do it together, nobody can stop us. I hope that Trump unleashes the National Guard, because lawlessness is not the way. Because nobody owes you anything, because you're going about it the wrong way. You're saying, oh, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to take it. It's not yours to begin with. It's assistance for those that need help temporarily, but it is not yours to demand. It is not yours to say, oh, since I've been on it my whole life, and my mother and my grandmother, you owe me this. Nobody owes you anything. Our ancestors were slaves. We never picked cotton a day in our life. We have opportunity. We have financial aid. We have loans, grants to go to college. We can be entrepreneurs. We can sit here and make YouTube and TikTok videos where nobody needs to be sitting around and saying, oh, the government owes me this. I'm just going to stay on food stamp for 40 years. And then my kids going to stay on it for 40 years, and my grandkids, and we're just going to stay on housing, and we're just going to stay on Section 8, because why should I work? Why should the American people owe me money? The taxpayers work for me. How are you a boss if you're saying you don't have a job and that taxpayers work for you, but you sitting on your lazy butt all day, and another man is feeding your kids, and you supposed to be a whole man? That's not a boss. That's a loss. That's a loser. LOSS, you lost. You're a loser. You need to get up your sorry behind, stop playing video games, stop watching porn, stop masturbating, and go get a job, sir. You're not a boss. Bosses make money. They call the shots. They're entrepreneurs. They got clothing lines. They got restaurants. If they got a food truck, however they have to hustle, they do it. If they laying pavement, if they laying floors and tiles, they building apartments. They work with their hands. The Bible, like the woman said on here, the Bible says a man that doesn't work doesn't eat. He said, if you don't take care of your business, you're less than an imbecile. Some of you men need to grow up. Some of you women need to do the same thing. My mother said when she had me, it wasn't about her no more. She said I had to take care of another human being. It was time to grow up. I had to work. My mama didn't depend on, we didn't have no food stamps. She worked. And guess what? Back then in the 90s, they didn't have no daycare vouchers. If you pop something out of your vagina, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, guess what? You had to pay for the daycare fees yourself. You didn't have no daycare vouchers. And the reason why a lot of you guys are so entitled and so spoiled is because the government is paying for everything for you. And you don't have to work for nothing. So you can pop out these kids. They're giving you food stamps. They're giving you housing. They're paying your daycare. So you're entitled. So you're ghetto. You're ignorant. You think somebody owes you something because you didn't have to work for it. You're not an adult. You're still a kid. Then we have some of you black women going in there and gas stations and throwing down the slushy machines and pulling stuff and nobody's doing anything because everybody's scared of y'all. And you got these entitled black women that act like monkeys and that act like animals, and they go in these convenience stores and they go in Popeyes, and because their EBT card is declined, you want to start pulling the cash register, breaking it, pulling stuff down, destroying the convenience store, destroying the gas station, destroying, and everybody's just sitting there. Nobody's even saying anything. Nobody's stopping y'all because they scared of the wrath of the black woman, because they scared you gonna slap them or punch them. Y'all better stop being scared and get some security and stop having these women up in here punking y'all. Y'all better get y'all some security in these gas stations, in these Popeyes. I keep seeing video after video of these black women going into these convenience stores and into these Popeyes and into these little places where their EBT cards used to work, and they saying decline. Then they start pulling your register. Then they breaking your slushy machine. Then they turning all the aisles over. Y'all better stop being a punk. Y'all better get y'all some ex-hood rats up in there to knock them out, or to at least try to hold them back. Stop letting these people go in your stores and you're not doing nothing. Get y'all some security. Get y'all some ex-hood rats. Get some people that's about that life. They can at least pull these people and be like, oh, push them out and be like, you can't do that. Stop letting these people get away with this. You have to let these people know there are consequences for their actions. They know that y'all are scared of them. So when they go in these stores, they're pulling the stuff down. They tear it because they know y'all are scared of them. Stop being scared. At least get you some security that can tase these women. At least get you some security that can tase these women. Or put their hands on them and push them out the store. If somebody's pushing over your register, pushing over your slushy machine, tearing your aisles down, knocking, you have the right to put your hands on them and put them out your store. You got the right to do that. Stop letting these black women get away with stuff because y'all are scared of them. And step up and get y'all some security and put your hands on them and push them out your store. They don't have a right to come in and tear your stuff down. Y'all need to implement some security, some policy, and some policing. These women need to go to jail. They need to go to jail for at least 5-6 months for obstruction of your gas station, of your stores, for assault and all that stuff that they're knocking down, those slushy machines, the stuff that they breaking your cash register. That stuff costs a lot of money. Thousands of dollars in damages, and y'all just letting these women get away with it, and you wonder why they keep doing it. They know you're scared of them. Stop being scared. Hire you a security. Hire you a big old tough woman to put their hands on them, and get you a big burly woman that is as big as a man, that they have the right to, when they get to touching your stuff, they have the right to put their hands on that woman and push her out the store. Get you somebody that's not scared. Y'all better get some insurance for y'all store by getting some security. And don't get a white man, because they gonna swear up and down they racist. But if you come in the store with your big burly black self as a black woman acting like a monkey, we got the right to get a man, a woman, whoever, security, police, to put their hands on you and escort your tail up out that store. If they have to use force, they have to use force, because it's not your right to come in somebody's store and destroy it. And then you don't have no consequences. Stop making these people not pay for what they're doing. I don't care what color if they act like an animal, treat them like that. I ain't saying put a bullet in their head, but I am saying apply force. Put your hands on them and push them up out your store. Stop letting them act like that. Y'all need to get y'all some people that's about that life and start having y'all some security and family hang around y'all store. So if some black woman come up in there acting like a monkey, I don't care if it's a white woman, I don't care if it's a brown woman, whoever want to act like a monkey, about 10 of y'all can put your hands on that one person and say, you got to get up out of here. Because they can't say it's assault if they come in there assaulting your stuff. This has to end, my people, and all people with this mentality. Nobody owes you nothing. Grow up. Y'all big old grown women in their 30s and 40s going in convenience stores, going in Popeye, Subway, grown men throwing tantrums because your EBT can't get you a sandwich. You ain't got $5, $10 to get a sandwich. He asking you to work 20 hours a week and you don't have $5 to get a sandwich. You don't have $3 to get a slushie. You don't have $7.99 to get this Popeyes. You should be mad at yourself. You should be slapping yourself because you should have some money in your pocket. You should have at least about $20. You should have a little bit of something when you get paid. You mad at the wrong person, but y'all better start implementing policy, policing, else it's going to continue. These people are entitled. This has went along for so long that it's ridiculous. We have raised an entitled group of ignorant blacks, ignorant whites, ignorant Latinos, whoever these people are that say, let me just keep having kids. Let me run up in your store and steal. If we shoot y'all, you deserve it. Nobody seen nothing if they steal. If you get shot, you deserved it. All these people with this mentality is what America has allowed to happen because of the entitlement. Because of you don't have to work, because we owe you something. Just because you sat up there, open your legs and had sex, now we owe you everything. This is entitlement that says, oh, I can enjoy myself and have all this ungodly and unprotected sex, and then once I have all these kids, you're gonna pay for my kids, you're gonna pay for my housing, you're gonna pay for this, you're gonna pay for that. I don't have to pay for nothing. And the moment you try to take it away from me, I'm gonna go in your stores and I'm gonna throw a tantrum, and you can't say anything about it because I'm a black woman and because I'm hood, and if you do, I'm gonna knock you out. No, if you don't get yourself together, you're going to get what's that word called? Tased. You're gonna get put in prison. Somebody gonna put their hands on you, and they have a right to, because that's their store they worked hard for. You didn't work for that. You don't work for nothing. When you have these people with this lawless mentality, it's going to lead to a dead end. Somebody gonna get hurt, somebody gonna get shot, somebody gonna end up getting prison time because they don't respect God, they don't respect people, they don't respect people's property, they don't respect the fact that these people pay for these stores, they pay for these items in the store. They don't respect nothing because everything was given to them because they sat up there and had kids, and we're supposed to pay for them. They don't know what it means to work. They don't know what it means to struggle. When my mother had me in 91 and she was a single mom and she worked, and I remember her telling me at play school in Jonesboro, Georgia, Miss Connie was from Jamaica, Uncle Rudy too. Shout out to anybody from play school in Jonesboro, Georgia. I had Miss Nancy, Miss Angela, Miss Connie was a Jamaican one her and Uncle Rudy was over play school, and they always was cooking something good for all the kids. My mama used to love Miss Connie's macaroni. She used to always sneak in the kitchen and be like, Miss Connie, can I get some macaroni? Miss Connie used to give us some macaroni. Uncle Rudy passed away. Uncle Rudy was a good man. But anybody remember play school back in the day? Shout out, Jonesboro, Georgia. I'm the little girl called Zakira. And so my mama said one time, she was like, sometimes she would be struggling trying to pay that daycare fees. And back then it probably was like maybe $200-300 a month, or maybe $100 some a month. Everything was cheaper back then. And she said she didn't quite have it all, but she had like more. They gave her like a $20, $30, $40 discount or something like that. They said, it's okay, we're gonna work with you. But she was working, and maybe she couldn't meet it all, but she met the majority, but they still worked with her. She didn't have a voucher. She didn't ask nobody, oh, pay this for me. I sat up there and screwed a man. Now you gonna pay it. She worked. And even when it was time when it was struggling, she gave her life to Christ. God would make a way. And they said, you know what, we're gonna work with you. And that's what she did, but she still applied herself. And the grace of God was there when she fell short, as far as, if I don't have it all, can y'all work with me? Can I put 70 or 80% down? And they did that. But she didn't expect somebody to just, can you, she was like, I don't have all this. What do I? And she said, Miss Connie said, you know what, I'm going to work with you. That's what they used to do back in the day. There wasn't no vouchers. And if it was, my mama didn't know nothing about it. It wasn't no vouchers. Only thing she said she might have got when I was a baby was WIC. I didn't grow up on food stamps. My grandma did. When I came to Dallas, they would get food stamps and all that. And I get my little marshmallows and get it, so I'm not too good. But all I seen my mama do was work. And this is not looking down on nobody that does. But when you know better, you grow up, you do better. So you don't repeat the generational curses and generational curses. Maybe the opportunity that your parents didn't have or didn't take advantage of, or going to college, or even financial aid, or even to HBC, you can. or if you just want to go to a regular, you can take the opportunity to be somebody and break those generational curses. Please don't go out here looting and stealing. Y'all can go out to Tom Thumb, to Kroger, Costco. Go a little further. If you know you stay in an area where it might be, don't risk that. Go out a little further. Go to a neighborhood Walmart. Don't follow the crowd. Don't get yourself in trouble. Trust God. For those that are not going through this and not affected by this, give to the food banks. For those that are in need, please find a food bank, and we're going to keep you in our prayers. But please, y'all, trust God in this process. Don't follow the crowd. Don't do the wrong thing. There are consequences. You don't want to lose your life behind trying to get some pizza pockets and some chicken wings and some cheesecake and some turkey and all that. You don't want to lose your life for that. You don't want to be in prison for the holidays because you decided to follow the crowd talking about, well, they can't get us on. They can't get us all. You know God is watching you. He done seen some of these families be on a generation after generation, and he's calling y'all out. He's calling y'all off of it. He wants you to grow up. But instead, y'all are being entitled. You're being lawless. You're going in, tearing people's stuff down. You're going to meet a dead end if you don't wake up because you don't fear God. You don't respect people. How's he going to help you if you're not willing to listen to him or anybody else? He helps those who helps themselves. You got to humble yourself. You got to fear God, respect God, and respect people and respect what they work for, including their stores, their gas stations that they own, the Popeyes that they work at. You didn't build that. Your EBT card don't work. If I was homeless, that would suck. But I would say, you know what? God, make a way for me. Every time I was homeless and I was on it, I got a job. God, I got right off of it. Because I didn't want to be in the system, but I used it for what I needed. I got off of it by the grace of God. But I would be like, God, I want to be somewhere better. Like I want to be somebody. And I'm working to be a teacher even now, although I'm late in the game. I was supposed to graduate in 2015. I was a whole senior in college. I was going to be an elementary education major. And well, I was an elementary education major. I was a senior in college, and there was a new dean that came in and said, well, because she can't drive to the school, you know, you got to go to the schools and do your hours, she can't graduate. She was on some hating stuff. And so, but I should have stuck it out. I should have talked to the dean over her or the president over her at the time or the one under the, and I didn't. So I've been through a lot in my life, but now I've redirected. I've switched from early childhood education, been through homelessness, been to the army, been kicked out, not because I was a bad soldier. I go through a lot of jealousy, unfortunately, but you know, I live and learn. Yeah, I have a temper, but I'm not a bad soldier. Like I was just going off. No, things happen, you know. And you live and you learn. I've lived and I've learned, even though they still didn't have to put me out, but God still turned it around. And now I am a history major, and I'm majoring in secondary history. Well, history. And then I plan to get my master's degree in secondary history so I can be a high school history teacher. But I'm like, Lord, lead me to what you want me to do. But I'm also actually thinking about taking this music thing serious and doing like gospel rap, gospel jazz, gospel soul, something of that nature. Because I feel like all the stuff I've been through, I feel like I should have just pursued music right out of high school instead of education. I should have pursued music because that was my first passion. But y'all, please do the right thing. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Stay encouraged. Call on Jesus and be wise, and he will supply your every need. Don't follow the crowd. Yep, a mind is a terrible thing to work. Men that don't work, it's time to get up. It's time for y'all to be men. Afrocentric, thank you. AKA gang, thank you. What else? I love your hair, Yusuf, thank you. All right, so peace. Y'all let me know about the rap. Y'all think I should pursue it or what you think? Be encouraged. Do not follow the crowd. We got to stand before God. He's watching us. He don't want us acting lawless. He don't want us acting like a child of Satan. He don't want us giving it to our flesh. It may be tough. It may be rough, but he'll always make a way for you. If you take it in your hands and you follow the crowd, you saying this is bigger than God. This is impossible for him to fix. So I have to take it in my own hands. And that pisses off God because this ain't nothing to him. He can make a way for you. All you got to do is humble yourself. Then he can put you on the right path where you're not even government dependent. You can be a single mom of 9 kids and he can make you that lawyer, doctor, nurse's aide, nurse, whatever, fire, whatever you want to be. But you got to trust God and humble yourself. You got to be willing to let him be God, let him handle it, and then let him show you how to be self-independent, but let him, direct the situation. Don't just take it in your hands and follow the crowd, especially if they're being lawless, they're being racist, they're being ignorant, they trying to end up in prison for the holidays, they trying to end up shot because they out here trying to rob people. People don't got time for that. And God is calling y'all to higher. He's calling y'all to greater. It's time to grow up. It's time to do better, my people. I don't want to see y'all in prison. I don't want to see y'all dead talking about they was racist because somebody came in shooting y'all because y'all decided to rob everybody. And then y'all talking about Black Lives Matter. Stop having abortions if Black Lives Matter. Act right. Act wise. Act like you got some common sense. Act like you know God. Act like you fear God. Stop acting like animals. Don't sit out here and cause all this havoc, all this lawlessness, and then when stuff start happening, say Black Lives Matter. Don't go out here robbing. Don't go out here looting. Don't go out here acting ignorant. Act like you got some common sense. Act like you know God. If you don't know him, go to church. Get in church. Because ignorance is going to lead to death, or it's going to lead to prison. You end up in two places for the holidays, dead or in prison. Then what of your kids? What of your kids? All y'all can't take the police on. All y'all can't take the National Guard on. This ain't a Trump or racist thing. This is your mentality. Humble yourself before God. It's time to grow up. No one owes you nothing. He loves you, but you got to respect and fear God and respect men. And respect the fact that you got to get up, get off your butt and work and do something. For all of you that are able-bodied and say you don't have to work, there's no excuse for that. God helps those that help themselves. If you don't want to work, get in school. I'm not working right now, but I'm full-time in school to be a teacher so that I can be working. Do something, y'all. Take some classes. Get in college. You know they'll pay you to go to school. Join the Army. I joined the Army to be an officer. I joined the Army to be a leader for the youth. It didn't work out for me. But in that rejection, that's why I want to work with the urban youth. When people say, oh, you too hood, oh, you too ghetto, oh, you this, they misunderstand you. Sometimes they hate on you. They put you out. They reject you. Even the Army rejected me. Not everybody, because I had some people that fought for me for day one. It was just the last unit. All they had to do was switch me in a different unit, and I should have just switched. But I feel like everything works out for God's purpose. He probably still want me on the outside, but I can use that to even work with the youth and be like, listen, I know what it's like to be rejected. I know what it's like to be kicked out. They say, oh, it's impossible. She's too this, she's too that. But God said, I'm a user. All you got to do is humble yourselves, and we can learn from our mistakes. And even when people do stuff they didn't really have to do, God is still turning around for your good if you humble yourselves. No, I'm not perfect, but I don't think it was to the point where you had to put me out, but you did. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to work on my attitude, and I'm going to use this to encourage the youth that you can be somebody. That it doesn't stop with our failures. It doesn't stop with what we went through or where we came from, but where we're going, where we end up at, what we do in between time. God help me to get there. God, I learned from my mistakes. Now better me. Show me the way. Show me how to please you. Show me how to work with people. Show me how to humble myself so that I can be used for you, to be a light for you, and to help others, as well as while I'm helping myself get to a better place in life by your grace. Okay, God bless y'all. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Do the right thing. Trust God. Don't follow the crowd. Happy holidays, and please don't go out here on this demonic holiday celebrating Halloween. The devil is real. Witchcraft is real. Pray against witches, pray against the warlock, pray against the voodoo, pray that God protects the kids, pray that souls get saved, pray that God opens eyes, even on this Halloween, and gives people experiences where they won't celebrate Halloween in the future like he gave me. I remember real quick before I ended, back in like 2001 or 2, I was like 10 or 11, and we were celebrating Halloween with my family out there in Grand Prairie, and we were trick-or-treating in the neighborhood. It was a nice little neighborhood at that time, and I'm sure it probably still is. These men with these scream masks on were just following. It was like 3 of them, and they were just following me and my cousins, my mama, all of us, and they were just following us as we was walking. But it was very, very eerie. And I look at that and I say, even from a child, God was giving me experiences and trying to show us that this holiday is wicked and we shouldn't be participating. It was so eerie. I think it was some white guys with some scream masks on, but it was eerie. Like, it just felt like death. It felt weird. Like, it felt like you was in a movie and they wanted to kill you, or they wanted to. It was so weird and eerie that we actually went back home. They was like, no, something's not right. They're being weird. They kept following us. You know, some people, you know, they'll walk behind you, but they're going around, they laughing, playing, but they kept following us. Some people get inspired by those killer movies, those Halloween movies, and it felt so bad that my mom and the adults was like, let's just go home. And then one more time, I'm gonna give y'all, I think a year or 2 later, because we would always go over there for Halloween, and they would take us to like North Dallas, where the rich people are with the glass mansions. They used to give out like king size bars. And I don't say that for y'all in Dallas to go out there and trick-or-treating. Please don't. Please give it to Jesus, y'all. Please stay home. Please, y'all. But because God is calling us out. But anyway, at one point I was excited. I wanted to go out there and get them big candy bars with my grandma and my cousins. And I got so sick. All of a sudden, I was fine the whole day. And when it was time where we got to my cousin's house, all the way from Pleasant Grove, I stayed in Pleasant Grove at the time with my mama, to Grand Prairie. When we got over there, I got sick out of nowhere. My stomach got sick because my mom and them was staying home. And I think like a cousin was gonna take my grandma and us younger cousins trick or treat. My grandma wants some candy too. But I got sick out of nowhere. I was like, dang, my stomach hurt. And I had got so sick out of nowhere that I had to stay home, and I just laid on my mama's lap all night. And even then, God was pursuing me. We didn't realize it back then. It took me years later to find out that even back then, God was trying to say something is not, this holiday is not for you, my children. It's not for Christians. It's not even for the world. He wanted everybody to come into him, but he was saying, this is not for you. He was trying to get my attention, but we didn't catch it. But when I caught it, when I saw the revelation, when I went through that experience when I got older and I researched the high, so this is wicked. God was trying to get my attention from the beginning, and I thank God for enlightening me by his grace. So I pray for the grace on other Christians. Some don't know and they want to be lukewarm, and I pray for the grace on sinners that they come into the light of Christ, where you don't just say you believe, but you don't take part in darkness or in things that don't please him just because you think it's innocent and you want some candy, because the roots of it, it's still worshiping Satan, dressing up like Satan, honoring the dead. All these things happen on Halloween, witchcraft. So even if you're ignorantly taking part in it, you're taking part of things that glorify and worship the enemy, and God would not have that. So, and when you know better, you do better. So when he enlightens you, when he's sending warnings, you say, okay, God, let me come out of this. Like, I know I like this. Let's stay home and eat snacks or whatever. Watch some family movies. We don't have to watch these Halloween movies. We don't have to watch this wicked stuff with cussing and sex. And we don't have to eat this demonic candy that witches and prayed over. It might be, I'm not saying everybody's evil. I know there's some regular people out there. But like I said, even when you participate in it ignorantly, or it's not your will to worship Satan, the holiday itself glorifies Satan. So we got to come out from amongst them. God bless y'all. Stay prayed up. That's what I got to say. Thanks for tuning in. Be blessed. God bless. See you. Bye.